So today let's continue with the lectures. So yesterday we have seen about series RL circuits. So today we will be seeing the remaining parts of series RC and as well as series RLC circuit. Okay, the concept remains same. So since it doesn't involve much difference, so we will be utilizing the same concepts, and let's directly get into the topic. So let's say you have a circuit, so where V of t is a voltage which is connected across the circuit RC, and this is considered to be the sinusoidal excitation, and I of t is the current which is flowing through the circuit RC. So generally the current consumed by this side, we generally tell it as the impedance, because there will be the immersible current consumption by these circuits. So hence we generally call this thing as impedance, which is Z. So from the KVL we know, by applying KVL we could able to get this form. So the V phasor equal to the sum of VR phasor plus VC phasor. So where V phasor, which is generally called as I phasor Z, from we know this particular relation because the current flow and the current flowing through the circuits RC, so which is basically Z. And we also know the VR phasor as I phasor R and VC phasor as minus J I phasor XC. So the reason to do this, so you need to go through the phasor relationship of capacitors. So in the term we have actually concluded, so I will write here, so I phasor equal to J into omega C, okay, into V phasor. So this was the relationship which we have seen. So please go through the previous video or your lecture notes. So here I have mentioned this, the particular thing which we have concluded. So I phasor equal to J into omega C into V phasor. So what we actually need, it is basically the VC phasor. So hence VC phasor is actually equal to I phasor by omega C. Okay, so J into I phasor into omega C, where you can say J into I phasor into, when you bring up, then you can add negative sign before. So I have replaced this thing VC phasor from this particular equation. So now your VC phasor is nothing but minus J into I phasor into omega C. So this omega C is nothing but your the reactive part of the circuit. Generally we generally say it as the in complex power we generally say this as the reactive part. So the resistant part and the reactive part. So the reactive part is now replaced by minus J I phasor XC. Okay, so by taking I phasor common on both sides, we can conclude with this particular relationship where Z equal to R minus J into XC. Now when we draw the phasor diagram for the series RC circuit, okay, the first thing, the current phasor which I have taken as your reference phasor, it is same for both RL and as well as RC circuit, where I phasor remains common in both sides. So hence I can take that particular thing as my reference phasor. This is my reference phasor. Then when you just see your VR phasor, basically from the resistance, the VR phasor basically here, which is given in the circuit, it is following the Ohm's law. Hence your current and your voltage are actually in phase. Hence you have to draw your VR phasor somewhere over here, and we are considering that your resistant value R is very less. So the VR phasor will be, the value of VR phasor will also be low. If the resistance is very low, then the VR phasor is also low. So hence we have this particular thing. That's a slight difference in your magnitude. Okay, and if you look at the VC phasor, so what happens to your VC phasor? It is actually negative. Negative means it has to come down, it has to climb down, and it has 90-degree phase shift with your current phasor. So you can again refer your phasor relationship of your capacitor, where the current is actually has the current and the voltage has the phase difference of 90 degree, and here we have the VC which is basically falling in the negative part, hence you have to climb down. Okay, and the resultant phasor V phasor, this is basically the vector sum of your V phasor and VC phasor. So vector sum of V phasor and V phasor is your V phasor. So hence this is your resultant vector RV I will mention. Okay, so this is what the phasor diagram of your series RC circuit. So from here, okay, we could able to draw the remaining triangles. So the first voltage triangle. So in voltage triangle we know. So based on this Pythagoras theorem, we could able to calculate the net voltage, and also we could able to calculate the angle theta, and similarly you can able to calculate the cos theta, which is basically the power factor. So here the power factor actually leads. So you will be having the leading power factor. Where in your where in your RL circuit you will be having lagging power factor. So if I have not mentioned that, please note it down. The power factor is actually leading here, whereas there the power factor is actually lagging. And similarly, if you draw for impedance triangle, so this is an impedance triangle diagram. So where you have what? The impedance, which is basically the total impedance, which is going to measure my R and as well as my the reactive part. Okay, the resistance part is this and the reactive part is Xc. And here also you can able to calculate your net impedance, your theta, and as well as your power factor. So that again your power factor is actually leading. Okay, and as well as here also it is leading. So here this is the triangle of, this is a power triangle, so which we have discussed in the last class. So in your power triangle you will be able to see what is your S. So basically this part, your apparent power, okay, and what is your real and as well as your reactive power. Okay, so your apparent power is generally measured in terms of VAR, this is a VA, and your reactive power in terms of VAR, and real power in terms of watts. Okay. So this is the thing. So I think it is very easy for you to connect with this particular concept, because since we have seen for RL it remains same. Only the phasor diagram has been altered. So other than that the concept remains same.